what's up and welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing great. So for today's video, I'm going to be making some DIY squishies as well as slime. Now I had both of these ideas, and instead of making like two different videos, I thought I would put them into one. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, and if you could maybe click that subscribe button, that would be so awesome. Also, if you didn't know already, I have been vlogging on my second channel where I did an empty house tour, and I'm currently decorating my new room. So if you guys would like to see what I'm up to, then you should totally check it out. I'll have a link for my second channel down below. Without any further ado now, let's get started. To make the squishies, you will need memory foam, which I got from Walmart from a pillow that I have. I will link it down below, but you can also use like a makeup sponge or a kitchen sponge if you don't have memory foam. What I did is I took a pretty thick piece of it, and I'm going to make a triangle-like shape, like a pizza slice would be like. Then, using my pair of scissors, I'm going to start cutting the foam. Now, you want to do this very slowly and little by little so that you get an even surface. So I'm just going to do that. It did take a while, to be honest, but honestly, if you're watching like Netflix or something, it goes by really quick, and I kind of enjoy cutting the memory foam for some reason. Once you're happy with the shape, you can take some fabric paint. If you don't have fabric paint, you can also use a fabric medium. I will link it down below, but you basically mix acrylic paint with the medium and it turns into like fabric paint. So I used yellow, and I did mix in a little bit of white to kind of lighten up the color. And I'm just patting that into the foam. As you can see here, you can also use gloves for this. I don't have gloves right now, so I ended up using a paintbrush. You do, of course, want to leave space for the crust. So I used white, yellow, and brown. You will need a lot of white, a little bit of yellow, and then a tiny bit of brown to get that really nice crust kind of color. Using my paintbrush, I'm just painting that on like so. You do want to let this dry a little bit before you start adding in the face. So I used black acrylic paint. You could also use fabric paint, and I'm making a laughing face on the pizza slice. So I made the eyes, the mouth, and the blush. You can also make whatever expression that you want. I feel like a mustache face would also look really cute. Using red fabric paint, I'm going to add on the pepperonis. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of applying it really thickly and directly from the tube, because I want it to kind of have this 3D-like effect, if that makes any sense. So you don't want to pat it in. You want it to kind of sit on top. And once you're done doing that, you want to let this dry for about 5-6 hours, because that thick layer of paint is going to take a while to dry. And there is the completed pizza squishy. It turned out so cute. I'm like in love with this squishy. It's probably one of my favorites that I've ever made. Moving on to the cookie, again, you will need a somewhat thick piece of memory foam, and I'm going to just draw on a circle on top. I was kind of struggling doing this part because my pen was out of ink and I wasn't able to find another pen. Now, using my pair of scissors again, I'm going to start cutting the foam. For the cookie, you kind of want it to be in a dome-like shape. So the bottom has to be flat, and then from the top, you want it to be like a dome. So I'm just cutting this away pretty much the same exact way that I cut the pizza slice. To color the cookie, I used white, yellow, and brown, just like we did for the pizza crust. I'm patting the paint into the sponge with my paintbrush. I would have preferred using like my fingers to do this, but I didn't have a glove, so I had to use a paintbrush, but I definitely would have preferred using my fingers instead, because it's kind of easier to pat it in and blend it. Once that was done, you want to let it dry a little bit and then you can move on to the face. So again, I'm using black acrylic paint and I'm going to draw on the face. For the chocolate chips, I'm using brown fabric paint, and just like we did with the pepperonis, I am applying it very thickly so it's kind of 3D. Be sure to let this dry for about 5 to 6 hours before you start squishing it, and there is the completed cookie squishy. So as I mentioned, I wanted to make squishies, but I also wanted to make slime. So I thought I would kind of include this into the video as well. So I ended up making this crunchy red slime that kind of looks like a slush, I guess. I used half a cup of clear Elmer's glue and I added about 3 to 4 drops of red food coloring, and I'm going to mix that in really well. For the activator, I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and mix that in as well. Along with the baking soda, you're going to need contact solution. I think I used about 2 teaspoons of this. And then I'm just going to mix that in. As soon as you start mixing it, it will stop sticking onto the bowl and kind of clump together. And for this slime, you do want this to kind of be on the stickier side, just because you are going to add in the glass beads, which these I got from the dollar store, and they're basically vase filler beads. I added the beads to a bowl and I wanted to like put my slime on top so that it kind of clings onto it immediately. And that is pretty much it for the crunchy slime. It's super fun to play with. I did add it into a container so that it would look really cute. And yeah, that is pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next one.